Can a dead or dying battery throw an error code in your car? Yes, it obviously can throw a lot of codes, but in most cases you can't predict what kinds of codes it will throw, because it may throw almost any kind of code, because it causes the glitches in the brains of your car. And when the control modules start glitching, they may throw any trouble code at all. While you can expect the charging system codes, low voltage codes, there are a lot of them for every kind of module and every type of system in your car, but in most cases you will get absolutely random codes like ABS codes, airbag codes, safety system codes, key not detected codes, and all these types of warnings. You need to understand that the low battery is the problem of only the starting period. So when you turn on the ignition and start the engine, after you start the engine, the alternator takes over all the electrical duties in your car. But before you start the engine, the voltage in your battery may drop, and the lower the battery, the worse the condition of the battery, the lower it will drop. So it may drop to 8 volts, to 7 volts, and in this case your control modules will just go crazy. And this is why you get these codes, not because the voltage keeps low all the time when the battery is low. No, not because of that. Once you start the engine, the alternator kicks in and it will give 14 volts and everything will be fine, but your car's brains have already glitched and they have these codes inside and they store them, and you see the check engine light, you see all these kind of weird messages on the dash, and that's why the low battery can throw a lot of codes. The best way to check this, to check the battery, is to go to the shop, to the store that sells these batteries, and they usually have this equipment for load test. And when they sell you the new battery, they usually use this load test system to prove that the battery is okay. So you can take your battery out of the car and give them to check, and they will load it on this equipment, and they will see if the voltage drops. So if the battery fails the load test, you may just buy another battery right away. But you may also use your multimeter to check the battery. So in the condition when the engine is off, the battery should have 12.4, 12.8 volts, depending on the type of the battery and its condition. When you are cranking the engine, the voltage shouldn't drop lower than 10.5 volts. Even this may be low for some batteries, especially the AGM batteries. If they drop lower than 10.5 volts, they are absolutely dead. And after you start the engine, the voltage on the terminals should be about 14 volts plus, so 14.4, 14.5. When this is the case, it means the alternator is working properly and you get the proper charging voltage. When you see the low voltage in your battery, you may consider charging this battery before you buy the new one, because in a lot of cars that drive in the city traffic mostly, you will have low batteries just because they crank the engine, then they will get a little charge and you will stop the car, you will turn off the engine, and the alternator will not have the time to charge this battery. And then you start it again. It's especially the problem for the start-stop cars that are non-hybrid vehicles. In hybrid vehicles, the system is different, but if it's non-hybrid and it has the start-stop, the battery has to work really hard. And if you spot that the battery is bad, you may charge it and try using it for another half a year or a year.